It's Heels on Wheels, the racing show by female racers, for female racers, about female racers, featuring female racers, with a few surprises thrown in. Heels on Wheels is brought to you by Renew Salon and Spa, Excelsior Racing, and Dragonflies and Nymphs Creation. And now, here are your hosts.
Thanks for tuning in to the Heels on Wheels radio program. I'm the executive producer, Taylor Hyatt, and we have an amazing show lined up for you today. Our guests this week are super late model racer Molly Helmuth and founder of Slip Angle Motorsports and returning guest of the show, Lisa Pineda. You know when you're driving down the street and there's that earth-saving bicyclist in your way, causing you to be 15 minutes late for work? Well, we know the feeling, so stick around to hear what our ladies have to say about sharing the road on our racing roundtable. KDP is back with more from Beauty's Got Muscle, and as always, Chef Sizzle and Scotty with another great grill and dish. So let's put those heels in drive and get this show on the road. Ladies, let's talk racing news. There's a ton of stuff going on this week, getting ready for most of the seasons to start here in the next couple of weeks. Some of them have already started, but the rest of them are going to be, by the end of March, I would say most everything is going to be up and running. So, Krista, what do you have for us this week?
Well, speaking of the racing season getting underway, my racing season is getting underway, even though I won't be going this year to the first race. For you Mustang and Ford enthusiasts, Bradenton is having the first NMRA of the season, so please don't miss it this weekend. Second thing that I'd like to bring up, as you know, I'm a domestic muscle car girl. The Corvettes have begun being pulled out of that sinkhole, that devastating accident at the Corvette Museum. And, you know, it's funny because you hear chitter chatter between the GM and the Ford guys now posting pictures. And my favorite one, I have to say, is the blue Corvette has gotten pulled out of the hole, and on bottom of it is a picture of that Mustang that survived the Oklahoma tornado, and it says, "Still faster than your Corvette."
Oh my gosh. Wow. Are we really going to have this conversation this early in the show, Krista?
Another day.
Yeah, but they are pulling them out one slowly at a time. I mean, they're taking their time. They're already in there and they're wrecked, really. Do you have to take that long? I don't get it. But, yeah, that's whatever news, I guess. Corvette is Corvette. They're old. That's cool, I guess. Okay, so I know Chris is going to love this one. They made a hybrid Porsche, which is going to be out here in the near future and they're going to be racing it. What are your thoughts on that, Krista?
You know, like I said in previous shows, I think that they'll get some excellent performance out of it. It's not the same to me. I mean, we know we have to move on and up, but, you know, as far as Porsche, they've always been a highly coveted performance vehicle, and for them to embrace the hybrid notion, it's going to see, based on their market, I'm going to be very curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, it's definitely just, I never would have thought of them making a hybrid, I guess. But I do want to mention here, Michael Schumacher, they're saying, you know, he's been in a coma since late December. There's been different things going around that he may make a recovery, he may get out of all this, but the reports that came out this week are saying that it's very unlikely for him to make a full recovery since he's been in a coma so long. So to all of his family and fans out there, definitely sorry to hear that, but hopefully things can still look on the up and up side for that. But as of right now, it's not looking that way.
You know, I want to interject for 1 second, and then I'll give it back to you. The Bahrain circuit is actually honoring Schumacher by naming the track after him. And at least, he will be remembered as being a great.
Yeah, that's awesome of them. And there's a lot of different groups that are having races in his honor and stuff like that. So if you want to be part of that, make sure you look out for those. I do want to mention Fox 1 Sports, their new show, Through the Driver's Eyes, is premiering this week. So you'll want to catch that. I think it's going to air on Wednesday, so you'll have to maybe catch it on demand or something. I don't know. Maybe it'll be on there. But I think that's going to be a really cool show. we've seen some shows about racing, but never actually through drivers' eyes. So I think that'll be really cool.
No shows about them, but you do see NASCAR using the in-car cam more and more, and I think that they've realized that that's a big hit, and they're going to move forward with that. And hell, we may be able to go off-roading from the comfort of our own couch with a beer in our hand.
Yeah, exactly. So before we go here, I was searching around this morning and I found this awesome video, and it's of a Subaru WRX versus a stick bomb. And I've never heard of a stick bomb, but you basically put little, like the tongue depressors together, and there's so much tension on them that you pull one out and it goes up like dominoes, basically. So they raced one of the remote control WRXs against the stick bomb, and I mean, they made this entire track and everything, and it was a really cool video. And to see, I mean, I thought the stick bomb was pretty cool because I've never seen that, but the racing the WRX with a remote control through this course was really amazing. So check out that video.
I mean, no offense, we know if it was a real WRX, stick bomb would have won. So.
Oh my, really? I don't even know how to answer you sometimes, Krista.
But did you see, honestly, that's actually a play on the Mustang one. The first one that I've ever seen was two RC Mustangs racing through a makeshift city. And unless you paid really close attention, you had no idea those were RC cars. So this stuff is really cool to see.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was reading through the comments, and they're like, that's so cool that it's a remote control car. And I'm like, oh, it was? I had no idea. I mean, maybe I wasn't paying that close of attention, but I was kind of paying attention to the stick bomb, I'm not going to lie. Sad news. Venezuelan IMSA driver Emilio Deguda was found dead, I think, this morning. He was only 50, so... more bad news in the racing world that it's always hard to talk about, but it seems like we've been losing a lot of good people in the racing world, and I don't know if maybe I'm just paying more attention to it now or if it's just happening more often, but I mean, it's getting worse, I think.
Well, you do notice that, I mean, the majority of these accidents are not in the driver's seat lately. So think about it that way. People make safety is the utmost importance when you race your vehicle, but, they have to take that into account too.
Exactly. All right, well, I think that's just about all the time we have for racing news this week. Make sure you check out our Facebook page. I'll post that video up there for you guys. And I guess let's go see what Scotty's got grilling.
Thanks, ladies. And yes, this is Sizzling Scotty, and we've got another fantastic tailgate recipe. We always like to whip up something that can be handheld, something that you can have in your hand that's not too messy, but that you can, you've got a beverage in one hand, ladies, and you've got you've got something great to eat in the other hand. So, we've come up with something that we've never really done here with Sizzling Scotty. We've got some quesadillas, or as Napoleon Dynamite would say, some quesadillas. These quesadillas are really, really easy to do. It's a great Tex-Mex sandwich, blending, a traditional recipe that most people have, but I like to put my own spin on it. And again, it's something that you can, you could use beef, you could use chicken, and in this, or you can even use shrimp. In this case, we're going to use some grilled chicken. So let's jump right into the ingredients, ladies. We're going to take 12 flour tortillas. We're going to take 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, 1 large onion, and we're going to slice that up nice. 1 large green onion, we're going to slice that up. 1 clove of garlic, and we're going to dice that up very fine. We're going to take 8 plum tomatoes, and we're going to chop those up nice. And you can actually chop those up and strain them, and that'll really help out making things a little less messy. We're going to use 1 pound of shredded cheddar cheese, some salt and pepper, but we're also going to take your favorite Southwest or your favorite Tex-Mex rub. I know I've got one that's got a little bit of smoked paprika and a little bit of cumin in it, but whatever spice you'd like to add to this. So we're going to take our chicken, we're going to get our grill all nice and hot. And that's a nice thing, especially these days where it's a little chilly out there. And for tailgating, we normally like to think of it as good weather. But as we saw for the Daytona 500, you had some nice weather, but it could get wet really quick. So you've got your grill all nice and hot, and we've got that chicken breast. We're just gonna lightly brush the chicken breast with some oil, and we're gonna throw on our seasonings to that. And the nice thing is we're gonna grill those seasonings right on there. So we're gonna grill our chicken, and we're gonna do it about 3 to 5 minutes per side. Again, we want to make sure that the chicken is cooked all through. We're going to cook it. We're going to set it aside, knowing that it's still going to cook for a couple minutes. So, maybe anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes total cooking time for that chicken. And you can always use your easy read thermometer to get that. Set it aside and don't cut it up yet. We're going to let that set and let those juices and things stay in our chicken. We're going to take our onion and our pepper and our garlic, and we're going to get a griddle top. Now, at our tailgate, we've got a really nice big griddle top that we fix right onto the grill to do our grilling, our skillet ting. So if you've got just a fry pan, that's great. We're going to throw the rest of the oil, the onion, the pepper, the garlic, and we're going to cook that all up. Add some salt and pepper to that to taste. And at the very, very end, when your peppers are nicely cooked, and we're going to do that for about 3 to 5 minutes. The very, very end, we're going to throw in our tomatoes just to warm those up through. So we've got our veggies all nice and warm. At that point now, you can start to cut up your chicken if you want to cut it up into thin slices, or if you want to chop it up, however you'd like to do that. And then now finally, we're going to take a tortilla, and on one half of it, we're going to lay down some chicken. We're going to top that with some veggies. We're going to top that with some cheese. We're going to fold that over. We're going to flip that right over onto the griddle top and let that sizzle all right in there, and let that get nice and warm and gooey all through. If you want to put it right on the grill, we've done that, and that works out really well. But again, really want to watch things over a medium grill so that you're not burning any of the tortilla or burning anything. Lay that on your cutting board and slice that into each tortilla. Typically can be sliced into 4 nice wedges. Serve that up with a nice ice cold beer, or maybe for you ladies, a nice Chardonnay would be perfect for this. You can find all of our great recipes here on the Heels on Wheels Facebook page, or on my Facebook page, which is Tailgate Grilling with Sizzle and Scotty. Give us a like and tell us what you'd like to hear on a future show. We love cooking for you, and as I always say, something in one hand, a nice ice cold beverage, in one hand, something great to eat. So ladies, we'll have something fantastic for you next week, but for now, we'll be right back after this break.
Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Learn how at www.ready.gov. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Jens Scott from Summit Point Kart in Summit Point, West Virginia. If you're looking for a real racing experience on a real racetrack, come out to Summit Point Kart this weekend. For as little as $25, you can get your racing career started. New this year, Summit Point Kart offers the RX 250 capable of over 75 miles an hour. We're open every Friday from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m., Saturday from noon till 10 p.m., and Sunday from noon till 9 p.m. For more information, go to our website, SummitPointKart.com, or you can call us at 304-725-5270. Summit Point Kart, your East Coast karting center.
Now it's time to shift gears. Here's Leonard from Cotman.
All shook up. More after this.
Car problems? You can trust your local Cotman man. Cotman has a 40-year history as a leader in car repair and making happy, satisfied customers. Whatever's wrong with your car, SUV, or truck, Cotman will check it out free using state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment. Don't take chances with your car. Bring it to Cotman and let your local Cotman man show you why they are America's transmission and total auto care experts. Visit Cotman.com to download money-saving coupons. Cotman. Real service, real fast.
You ever notice when you're driving on the highway, after a high rate of speed, you just barely touch the brakes and the whole front of the car starts to shake? Doesn't necessarily mean that your front end is out of alignment. Cotman Transmission's Total Car Care also can inspect your brakes, your front end, and your wheel bearings. Cotman Transmissions in Manassas, Virginia offers a free 21-point check. It consists of road testing your vehicle, a thorough visual inspection, and an electronic scan of the computer system. This goes a long way. Come see us.
See Leonard and the fine folks at Cotman of Manassas, 9113 Mathis Avenue in Manassas. Give them a call at 703-365-7200.
You're listening to Heels on Wheels exclusively on the PerformanceMotorsportsNetwork.com. Now back to the fastest women on the planet.
We're back with the Heels on Wheels radio program. I'm here with super late model racer Molly Helmuth. Hi, Molly. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm here with Krista Elise and Diana Clausen, and we're really excited to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. So why don't you go ahead and get started by telling us how you got involved in motorsports?
Yeah, so at the age of 3 years old, I was introduced to motorsports through my uncle. He raced stock cars out at my local track of Evergreen Speedway. So I was kind of just hooked from everything, just the environment of racing itself. So at the age of 11, I actually got started in go-kart racing, and then I started moving into full-size stock cars at the age of 14, racing in mini stocks in the Pro 4 truck division. And then I also went and tested for the Ron Sutton Driver Development Program down in California, where I raced Ford Focus midgets, and then now I race super late models in the Northwest.
You know, it's funny. I was looking at your profile, and it was exciting to see that you were actually a finalist in the Champion Spark Plugs contest. So how did that feel to get that news? I mean, there were so many people vying for that.
Yeah, well, I actually got it in 2013, so I was fortunate enough to be one of the top 15 finalists and to actually get a sponsorship with such a great company, Champion Spark Plugs, and I'm just, so thankful that we're back on board with them for 2014 as well, but, we worked really, really hard to get that sponsorship, and it's just such a great opportunity for any short track racers that are trying to find the sponsorship, because it is hard to find it in this economy right now. So it was really exciting to be able to be a part of such a great corporation, especially with all the other racers that they have on board. So we're really thrilled to be with them again for 2014.
So you started in go-karts and at age 11. Do you think being in go-karts helped you out more with moving into the stock cars?
They're completely two different cars. Obviously, just because of the weight difference. I think the way that it has helped me is the car handling control. I learned a lot about how to handle the go-kart at such a young age, and just being able to really control and have control of the car. So I think that's the main thing. I don't really see, I guess, the only thing that I could probably really carry on to the stock cars from the go-karts is how, I can trail brake with my feet, and the way that I do put my feet to the pedals and stuff. But they're two completely different cars, especially with the Ford Focus midget. So I just gotten so much experience in multiple cars, and I take different things from each of those cars, but I can't pinpoint certain things because they're, again, like I said, they're just so different from each other. But just the experience itself is what's nice, because all track time is in various cars is what you need to be able to be successful in the sport.
Now, you were also in a truck series. Do you see a difference between the stock cars and the truck series?
Those ones were actually pretty similar. The truck, I had a blast, and we had a lot of great success in the Pro 4 truck. But I don't know, it's more similar to the stock car. There wasn't any big, huge change. Again, it was a different weight differential. The truck was obviously lighter than the 2900 stock car that we have right now. But there wasn't, again, a huge difference with that. So I think that was the most similar to what I'm running right now. And again, like I said, that was probably one of the series that I had the most fun in, was the Pro 4 trucks.
So as a driver, how much do you get to interact with your pit crew, before races or when you're in the pits prepping your car?
Yeah, so during the week we work Tuesdays and Thursday nights at the race shop, so I'll be able to see them tonight. And we have a really strong bond with the crew. When they are here, we have family dinners. They're pretty much like my family. We treat them like family. So we have family dinners, talk about, our lives and what we're going to do in order to get the car ready, and our plan for the race weekend and stuff like that. So I interact with them a lot on a daily basis. I'm always texting at least one of the crew members about, certain things. leading up to the race, or just, again, like our daily lives. So I'm always interacting with my crew members because they're family to me. And however, a lot of people ask me, like, are you hands-on with the car? And I'm not usually too hands-on with the car. If they need my help here and there, then I'll definitely, pitch in. But I'm mostly there just to show them that, I support them for being volunteers on my team, and just happy to be there. But I don't usually get hands-on. That's a question a lot of people ask me.
Diana, did you have a question?
Yeah, absolutely. Molly, I heard you went to Lynn St. James's driving school.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so that was in, 2011. Time is just flying by. I think that was 2011, or maybe it was 2010. But yeah, I put in my resume for the Lynn St. James Academy, and pretty much it was, probably 15 of us female drivers. And I got there and, obviously got to meet such a talented female driver in the sport. And we pretty much just kind of talked about how females have to deal with being in a male-dominated sport and the mental side of everything that comes along with it. We also talked about nutrition and how to stay in shape for these long endurance races. Mm-hmm. And we had some physical training to just test us on how well we are in shape. But that was pretty much it. It was really informative, and I gained a lot of knowledge from that weekend with her. But I haven't, it was supposed to be like a 3-phase thing, but it only ended up being a 1-phase thing for that program. But from that, I gained a lot of knowledge, and I gained a lot of experience, and got to meet a lot of cool other female racers.
Who would you say is your hero in the race world?
My hero is my uncle, just because he got me in the sport, and in times of struggle, he was always there to pick my chin up. And I wanted to quit multiple times when I was from a young age. I always wanted to quit in times of pain and just times of struggles, like I said. And but he was always there to tell me that I am a lot better than who I was at that point. And he was just always there for me. So I think that's my hero. I always look up to him. He's so inspirational, and he's incredibly nice and helpful to other people. So I look up to him, and he, like I said, he got me started in the sport. So I wouldn't be here without him.
Did your family get to travel with you to your races often?
Yeah, absolutely. And go-karting, though, it was mainly my dad and I just traveling every weekend to regional go-kart races. And my mom wasn't really involved with that. But as I've gotten to this level of stock car racing, she's super, super supportive. And my sister also travels sometimes to the races. But my family is 100% supportive of me, especially when they realize that, this is something that I want to make myself out of, as a career out of. So pretty much they do travel with me to all the races, and again, they're just so supportive of me, and they just want to see me succeed and help me succeed.
So Molly, I want to talk about the Search for a Champion contest, which you made it to the top 15 in. Can you tell our listeners how you got to enter that contest and how you made out?
Yeah, so in 2013, I made a 2-minute video, and it just kind of talked about who I was, my plans for the future, and there was a voting phase, so I got all my fans to vote for me, which took me to the second round. And then out of that, they narrowed it down, and I was one of the 5 racers that got the $5,000 sponsorship deal. And throughout all of that, I gained, a wider fan base. I got to meet other contestants within that sponsorship deal. But I don't know, it was, like I said earlier, it's just like an amazing opportunity because it's such an easy sponsorship deal for any racers to be a part of if they really, really work hard at it and push it and promote it. And that's what we did. We made tons of videos. We made Harlem Shake videos out of it. We were always wearing Champion gear. We just promoted it so much, and that's how we got to be, a Champion-sponsored driver. So I think for the people that are listening that are in the second round of Champion, of the Search for a Champion competition, be sure just to really, really show them how much you want it and how dedicated you are to the product and to the brand, and show them, that you are worth their money and their time, and that you are indeed a Champion-sponsored driver. So, again, I'm very fortunate for them to be back on board for 2014.
Yeah, that's really awesome that you had that opportunity and, made it that far and everything. I want to mention your donation page on your website. You don't see a lot of that on, especially the younger drivers, I think. You don't see a lot of that. Can you tell us why you have that and what the cause is for?
Yeah, well, my donation page is obviously just to help support me and my racing career. We all know it's an expensive sport, but, I try to make everything very, very personalized. That's kind of what my donation page is about. It's showing people who I am, where I plan on going, and where their money is going to. A lot of people just ask for money and they just want and want and want, but these people that give me the money, that donate, they want something back. They want to know where their money is going to. So that's kind of what I do, and I always, give people something in something back. So let's say a hero card or a T-shirt or a hat or something, so they feel like they are a part of something. And so that's kind of what my donation page is all about. Like I said, it's a very, very expensive sport, but $100 or $1,000 or $50, $25, $10, it goes a long ways in the sport. And so, that's what it's all about. If you guys want to check it out, you guys can go to www.mollyhelmuth.com and check it out there. And if you guys want to put in a donation, that'd be awesome. And you can always just be in contact with me via my Facebook page. And if you guys want to visit my store, you guys can order some Molly Helmuth gear and all that fun stuff. So
tell everybody where they can find your upcoming schedule. I know you just mentioned your website. Is there anywhere else that they can go online?
Yeah. So again, my website is mollyhelmuth.com, and you guys can also follow me on my racing Facebook page. It's very interactive. We always have contests. We have, fun opportunities and stuff. So that's just going to Facebook, typing in my name, Molly Helmuth, and clicking like on the athletic page. Follow me on there. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, which is Molly_Helmuth and then 90. And so you guys can just interact with me there, figure out what my upcoming races are. On my website, there's a link for upcoming events, so you can figure that out as well. But again, I just want to thank all my sponsors and my fans, especially Security Imaging, Janet Helmuth CPA, Frontier Communications, Champion Spark Plugs, and Goodman Racing for being a part of this whole journey that I have ahead of me. So, and again, to my fans, thank you for following me, and hopefully I gain some new fans over this. So, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being on with us today. This has been Taylor Hyatt, along with Krista Elise and Diana Clausen for Heels on Wheels on the Performance Motorsports Network, here with super late model racer Molly Helmuth. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Mickey for Bed Bug Detection Services. Bed Bug Detection Services rescues dogs from the Humane Society and the SPCA, then trains them at the Florida Canine Academy. We then pair them up with a handler where they will spend the rest of their lives in a happy family home working in the community. We want to rescue our second dog, but we cannot do it without your help. We are fundraising to bring home our next canine. Please go to bbds.us, that's bbds.us, and do your part in helping us rescue another dog. bbds.us will give life, home, and a meaning to another dog. bbds.us. With every donation, you will receive a signed postcard from our current bed bug detection dog rescue, Lily. Go to bbds.us. And thank you.
Did you know that birthday parties help build confidence in kids?
Yeah. Did you know that giving kids less sugar before bedtime helps them sleep better?
Oh, totally. Did you know that friendly kids have more friends?
Everybody knows that.
Hey, guys, did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
I didn't know that.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right car seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
In the race of everyday life, it's nice to have the green flag. But drivetrain problems are the pits. A fully remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential from Jasper Engines and Transmissions costs less than a new vehicle and comes with a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide transferable warranty. See JasperEngines.com for details and get the green flag in your race of everyday life.
See the boys at Chandler & Sons Automotive, 45977 Old Ox Road in Sterling. Give them a call, 703-437-7300.
Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Learn how at www.ready.gov. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Ad Council.
You got it locked to Heels on Wheels, the Performance Motorsports Network.com, a member of the Scorpion Radio Group. Now back to the women wearing the driver's suits.
We're back with the Heels on Wheels radio program, and I'm here with the founder of Slip Angle Motorsports, Lisa Pineda. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I hope I didn't butcher your last name.
Oh, it's close enough. Pineda, whatever.
Okay. All right. We'll go with that. All right. Well, it's awesome to have you on the show with us. I know we talked to you last year around this time, right before Sebring. You had some pretty cool stuff going on then, but you've got some even better stuff to tell us this year.
Yes, actually, we do. We just kept expanding our vision. First, it was using iRacing to teach physics and science and technology, engineering, math. And that branched out into a whole new nonprofit called STEMSynX, and that is its main mission. And then we expanded it. We had all of these drivers from the iRacing community that were involved, and they wanted to be involved in a larger way in making the iRacing service itself and NASCAR, it's an actual NASCAR series, making it more prestigious. And so we formed with 4 drivers, the very first iRacing team in the NASCAR Peak Entry Series. So Peak came on board this year, and it's really elevated the quality of the competition as well.
That's so crazy. So these drivers are never actually in a car, but, I mean, they're racing in NASCAR.
Exactly. It's actually a NASCAR sanctioned series. It's all virtual racing. Now, they do racing outside of iRacing as well. We have some that do sprint cars, and that do, a lot of them do the go-karting, different kind of karting tracks. Tyler Hudson is the champion from last year. He also does a late model. So a lot of them cross over from virtual to physical and back. So the drivers that we have, one of them is multiple champion in karting series. Ray Alfala, he's a 2-time world champion in the NASCAR Racing Series. And he also has done karting, and he's done the Mazda Miata at Homestead. So there is definitely some correlation there.
Okay, so I have to ask, the first thing that I think of when I hear iRacing and what it's all about, because I'm not too familiar, is maybe like flight simulator. So it sounds like it does help drivers to go from virtual to reality.
Exactly. Actually, my background is flight simulation. It's funny you mentioned that. And my brother is a jet pilot, so he has to do, before he gets licensed in various aircraft, a number of hours in a simulator. They don't put you in a $20 million machine when you have no practice. So they definitely have through NASA. I've taught through the NASA Young Astronaut program, and that's been throughout NASA and aviation. They've used simulators for years to get people ready for the real world. And I would not find one astronaut that would say they didn't value the simulations they did before they went up and tried to work on that Hubble. I tell you that. But with the racing, it's actually quite new. The iRacing services have just been made public since 2008, and many NASCAR drivers, including Dale Earnhardt Jr., have used it, and he actually won the very first NASCAR sanctioned series race at Daytona 5 years ago. So many of the drivers, including Parker Kligerman this year, Darrell Wallace is on all the time. So a lot of the drivers that are in the NASCAR physical side also race online for iRacing. And that's just the stock car side. There's also the open wheel side, and there's road courses and everything. So the service is more than just ovals. They have road courses, and they have, my favorite is McLaren. the MX-5. So they have various cars, over 40 cars and tracks that you can choose from internationally. And that's another great thing about it being online is I can race right now with someone in Australia as well as someone in Germany and someone in India. So we can all be on the same track virtually racing each other.
So now we know how Little E won his Daytona 500. He's been practicing.
That's right. Yeah, they're actually laser scanned tracks as well. So iRacing puts a lot of effort into making sure that they're accurate so that real-world drivers can use them to practice.
Now we know. We know his secret. Now all the drivers are going to go home and be on iRacing all night.
That's right.
So,
look, ladies, I have to tell you, the thing that blows me away about this is that the world is going virtual. Everything is going virtual. And, I never really would have thought that racing would be so heavy in the virtual realm.
Well, yeah, if you think about it, the economy is changing as well. Gas prices keep going up. It is a limited resource, and tires, of course, are astronomically expensive. So if a team wants to save money and track time, why not do it on a virtual track where you're not spending money for gas or for tires or track time? So it's really economically and fiscally responsible for a team to practice on an accurate simulator. And that's another thing when it comes to flight simulations versus a flight game or a driving simulator versus a racing game. No driver is going to say that they're going to practice on, I used to do Need for Speed. It's just fun. It's not really a simulator. But iRacing is the most accurate motorsport simulator in the world. And that's not me saying it. It's been rated that way, and drivers back it as well. So it is extremely accurate, and it just not only does it make sense for practice, but if you ever, I don't know if you ladies have had a chance to watch one of the races, there's actually the professional series will be on next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. It's broadcast on iRacing TV, and it's also through MRN, and PRN also rebroadcast it. So maybe you guys can catch it. And my team is Flip Angle Motorsports, and we have 4 drivers on there, so you can look for number 3, 33. I can't even say my own numbers. The number 2, the number 33, the number 54, and the number 93 are all going to be racing in that series next Tuesday.
I was just going to say, it's so cool. You can actually watch these online like you're sitting down and watch a NASCAR race. I mean, there's the whole schedule on your website. This is awesome. I really had no idea that it was this big.
Do you see this being required for NHRA, NASCAR, and, other venues in the future to even qualify to drive a car?
I personally, if I was an owner of a physical race car team, especially with these young drivers who are used to using the computers and internet and everything, I don't see why I would put a driver behind a $2 million machine and say, yeah, go for it. I would definitely want them to do some time on a simulator. But of course, my background probably speaks to that as well. But I see it as being a standalone series where people respect it just as much as going in the physical world track. But Peak Anti-3 is coming on board this year as a title sponsor, as well as NASCAR sanctioning it. I think that also tells the future of the series itself, and it's going to be just getting bigger. I don't know if you all know about this. I don't think it's mentioned on my website, but on iRacing.com, Peak is going to be sending the champion from 2013, Tyler Hudson, as well as a champion from a different series called the Peak iRacing Series, I think it's called. They're going to be sending 2 drivers from iRacing to be part of the 10 in the Peak Stock Car Dream Challenge. So 2 iRacers might actually get a shot at a real car next year.
Wow, that's awesome. So tell us, what do the drivers get out of this? A regular NASCAR race, they get a ton of money and a trophy. What do your drivers get out of doing this iRacing?
Well, we have sponsors, just like Physical World Racing. If you look at some of our cars, Intelligence is on board for Byron Daly. We have Ford Racing on for Brian Blackford. Let's see, we have Main Performance PC on for Ray, and then Flip Angle Motorsports is sponsoring a rookie this year, and he's looking for sponsors as well. But they not only get payments from the sponsors, or they get services from the sponsors, but on top of that, the champion gets $10,000 and an actual NASCAR champion's ring and trophy. So since it's a NASCAR series, they actually get a NASCAR ring. So I don't know what it's going to look like if I ever win it. They're going to have to size it down because those rings are pretty big.
Wow, that's crazy. I had no idea that the prizes were that great. So here, before we go, we have a couple of minutes left. I want to talk about your nonprofit organization and what you're doing there.
Right, STEM-SimX. We're actually going to be at the state capitol here in Florida, Tallahassee, tomorrow, getting ready to pack up the simulators tonight. We're using the motorsport simulation to teach science, technology, engineering, and math, but more than just teach it, we just excite kids. They don't even realize they're learning when they're doing it. But if you think about motorsports in general, you're talking about inertia and apexes and slip angle and all these terms that are very high level. But when kids are racing, they're just having fun and they want to learn how to adjust the camber so that they can go faster. So these are things that they learn, and a lot of the drivers that I have actually on the team, they started when they were young, and they all ended up being college material just by doing the iRacing simulator. So it intrigued me to see if it would translate down to actually starting it with education and see if it's going to keep more kids interested in STEM in the future.
Wow. I mean, I can't even tell you. I'm in awe right now about all of this. I mean, it's amazing what you're doing, not only with the NASCAR iRacing, but also this nonprofit. And let me mention, you've done all of this in the past year, because when we talked to you last year, none of this was even in your works, I don't think.
Right. Last year is just a week-long camp that iRacing and Intel, Logitech, and Playseat, they just signed on board to see what would happen, and they gave us 3 simulators, and we kind of ran with it. And even Tony Gardner and Sean Siff, I think, are shocked at how far we've gone with it in the last year. We really took it serious, and I've been working with kids for 16 years, and when I see from homeless kids to gifted and talented able to compete with each other on a virtual track and all take away an excitement for education, I'm going to get behind it personally. So that's what I did. I personally funded this to get it started, and I know that there's going to be a lot of funders out there that are going to want to back it and take it nationwide. I don't have that much money to take it nationwide. I'm hoping that some people come on board and make it take wings.
All right. Well, before we go, tell us where we can find you on Facebook, Twitter, and on your website.
Okay. Well, our website for the motorsports nonprofit is STEMSimX.org, and the same name for Facebook and Twitter. And Slip Angle Motorsports is the racing team, and that's slipanglemotorsports.net, and also Slip Angle Motorsports on Facebook.
Awesome. Well, we're definitely going to keep up with what you're doing. And like I said, you're doing awesome stuff. So definitely keep going as much as you can, and we're going to be watching out for you.
Thank you for giving me some time to air all these ideas on your show.
No problem at all. It was great having you on, really. This has been Taylor Hyatt, along with Krista Elise and Diana Clausen, for Heels on Wheels on the Performance Motorsports Network, here with founder of Slip Angle Motorsports, Lisa Pineda. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
In the race of everyday life, it's nice to have the green flag, but drivetrain problems are the pits. A fully remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential from Jasper Engines and Transmissions costs less than a new vehicle and comes with a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide transferable warranty. See JasperEngines.com for details and get the green flag in your race of everyday life.
See the boys at Chandler & Sons Automotive, 45977 Old Ox Road in Sterling. Give them a call, 703-437-7300.
On the air, you may know me as the man about motorsports. Actually, I've been the man about insurance for over 30 years. With one call, I can cover your life, health, auto, home, and business insurance. Recently, I saved a young couple over $500 on their annual car insurance bill. No gimmicks and no green lizard. So if you think your insurer is really your good neighbor who is on your side because he is holding your money in his good hands, think again. Call me, 703-631-8000. I have dozens of insurance companies waiting to give you the protection you need and deserve. It may take more than 15 minutes, but you'll receive sound advice, quality professional service, and an honest opinion. That number again, 703-631-8000. Ask for Larry O.
Tincher Williams Chevrolet Buick GMC is your Lexington, Kentucky and Corbin Chevy Buick and GMC authority. From pre-owned to the newest models, Tincher Williams is the only place to shop in the Lexington area. Check out their website for your next new or pre-owned vehicle, www.tincherwilliamschevrolet.com. All of the full-line inventory of in-stock and on-order Buicks, GMC trucks, and Chevrolets are right there online. Plus, you can check out what's hot at Tincher Williams on the homepage. Schedule your service appointment. Browse the inventory. Look for Tincher Williams specials. Check out your financing options. See what GM incentives are being offered for your vehicle. You can even shop for new tires at their convenient online tire store and get directions from wherever you are right there. It's all online at www.tincherwilliamschevrolet.com. That's Tincher Williams Chevrolet Buick GMC, located in London, Kentucky. Your Lexington and Corbin Chevy Buick and GMC authority.
You got it locked to Heels on Wheels, the PerformanceMotorsportNetwork.com, a member of the Scorpion Radio Group. Now back to the women wearing the driver's helmets.
Guys, this is Katie from Beauty's Got Muscle. So, what I want to talk to you guys about this week is Georgia just got a big high five in my heart and soul for the fact that they're going after left lane lingerers. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is going to be a law, we hope, that will ticket people who are driving too slowly in the left lane, creating traffic, road rage, and possibly ending world peace. Representative Bill Hitchens, who also happens to be a former state trooper, nice job, Bill, created this bill. It's officially known as the House Bill 459, or 459, or 459, however you like to call it. But we know it as the Slowpoke Bill. It's received a near unanimous approval from the state's House Representatives, passing 162 to 9. We're going to pause right there. Who the hell are those 9 people? And I'd like their names up front, and we got to take them out of office immediately. Like, they should feel pretty bad about themselves. 162 to 9. You're not just outnumbered, you're squished. Representative Hitchens said, "My reason for doing this is more for an educational opportunity for people who don't understand you're not supposed to ride 55, 60 miles an hour in the left lane when you've got 15, 16, and 17 people lined up behind you." He also said that, "I always say it's manners your mama should have taught you. If someone pulls up behind you, you move to the right and let them by." And Representative Hitchens makes a incredible point right there. This day and age, for some reason, so many of us are driving with our egos, and we have this security in the sense of anonymity where we feel like we can kind of do and get away with whatever we want in our car, and we treat driving in the left lane or the lane that we choose like it's optional, and it's like, well, I feel like I like the left lane, so I'm just going to drive in that today. It's a law. It actually is a law. You can get tickets for driving too slowly. People think just because they're doing under the speed limit that they're in the right and it doesn't matter and you're an awful person because you happen to drive fast and like life. Wrong, wrong, wrong. There are cases where people have gotten ticketed for driving too slowly, and I applaud them because these people, these slowpokes, are not only crushing our souls, but they're creating traffic. And in a world and society that is continuously becoming heavily overpopulated, and if you don't believe me about overpopulated, try driving on Long Island at 3 p.m. You will literally want to swallow your whole fist and hope that you could reach down far enough, grab your heart, and crush it. And I'm sure we have all been in that moment when you're in the left lane and you're cruising along and you come up and you see it. Prius just sitting right in front of you, must be diddling themselves because they're driving 45 miles an hour in a 60, and you just want to blow your brains out. And there's no way around them because the other people in the other lanes are driving the right way, and you're not supposed to pass in the right lane because that is a law. So is moving over and letting traffic pass behind you. It's not a courtesy, and people for some reason have believed that this is a courtesy. It's not. You're supposed to do that. You don't get a fucking medal for doing it. So the fact that Representative Hitchens has taken this to be a bill to make it an official state law is phenomenal, and I applaud him. Now, the penalties that come with somebody who's caught impeding traffic going slowly in the left lane is up to $1,000 in fines and 12 months in prison. Now, to some, when you hear that and you read it, you're like, holy crap, that sounds like a really, really steep penalty. But the next time you are sitting behind a line of cars because this one car all the way in the horizon just doesn't care to move over, or is too ignorant to do it, or is driving a Prius, then I want you to think of that penalty of $1,000 and 12 months in prison, and is it justified? Or should we take that hybrid lover and stick them in an electric chair and give them a taste of their own medicine? You get it? Hybrids, electric chair, death by electric chair. Can't spell out any more, people. So to Georgia and Representative Bill Hitchens, I applaud you. You're on the right path. All of us drivers out there who like to drive and enjoy it just for pleasure, and people who, for their own sanity's sake, applaud you and keep pushing ahead, and hopefully more of the states of these great United States of America will jump on board, and we can eventually just push all these slowpokes to just use mass transit and stay out of the car. And then by doing that, we probably won't see too many more Priuses. So that's a plus. A real big plus. Bill, I'd kiss you right now if I saw you. If you get rid of the Priuses, the representative, nay, the individual to abolish the Prius, holy sugar pie honey bunch, I have some favors to pay you. Not sexual. This has been Katie from Beauty's Got Muscle. Now back to the sassy ladies of Heels on Wheels.
And once again, Katie has left me speechless. But speaking of slow people, we're going to continue on this little rant of Katie's, but in a different manner. We're not talking about the highway because this would be illegal on the highway. But what I am saying is, I don't drive my car on your bike path. Don't ride your bike on my road. Right?
You know, I was actually going to say, that's an interesting segue into our conversation today.
And I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm good like that. I could sense that that's what Katie was going to talk about today. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a bad person because I don't want these people riding their bikes. Maybe I don't want to save the earth. Maybe because I won't be here when all of this really affects the earth. But stop being in my way when I need to be at work. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, you know, first of all, Mr. Tree Hugger Flappy Pants wearing his little stretchy tights and, like, riding to work on his little blinky light bike. No offense, and it may not be your fault, but the infrastructure is just not here for bike lanes. And they make it worse because, like Katie said, everybody drives friggin' insane. So you have one person try to get around a bike who's holding up traffic, just like those Prius owners, and they cause an accident because they're trying to swerve from lane to lane just to get to work. Everybody's in such a rush.
Well, and you have to wait for them. You're trying to turn. They're crossing the street. You're 10 times faster than them, and you have to sit there and wait and let them go first. And we wouldn't have to let them go first if they would just go where they belong, not on our roads. Diana?
Well, you know, you guys have some really good points for sure. I mean, infrastructure, traffic, and just sometimes people don't know the laws, or sometimes the laws are just idiotic. I'm from Florida, so living an outdoor lifestyle is definitely what we're used to, and they have special sections off to the shoulder of the road for bikes only, and you have extra large lanes, so it's no big deal. Here in Texas, you're taking your life into your own hands if you're going to even think about putting a bike on the road, unless you're in a place like Austin, where it is very tree huggy, and I love that about Austin. But you know, it's really, you got to use a lot of common sense. And if you're holding up rush hour, you're holding up traffic. It's just, I don't know. Maybe if that's your only mode of transportation, you don't have a choice, and I can feel for somebody. But yeah, I think I just definitely don't think it's the safest mode of transportation, and a very good idea in most metropolitan cities.
Okay.
So I got to cut in here. I have a fact for you after I get over the idea of the 40-year-old virgin riding to work every day. So actually, a website says that the risk of fatality is 1 per 32 million kilometers bicycles for having a bike accident.
Yeah.
And the rate for commuter cyclists is 1 accident every 8.7 years.
Yeah. They should have to have a license for real. Absolutely.
Okay, but here's what I don't get. These people are, so earthy, and they want to help everybody out. And okay, these people would be driving Priuses anyway. If they were not riding a bike, they would be driving a Prius. So is riding your bike really going to help the earth that much? Come on.
Yeah, but maybe it's not even about the earth. Maybe they just like wearing those cute little stretchy tights.
Okay, another thing.
Well, sometimes we don't mind seeing them. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, it depends.
We can't be girls now. We can't stereotype with the whole Prius thing. I mean, come on. Somebody's got to be the lycra wearing devil's advocate over here. Even though you'll never catch me dead in those shorts. You know, but I think states need to have better laws. I think really people should, if they're going to be allowed to have to be on the road like that, I think they should have a license. And I think maybe more awareness should be out there for drivers as well. You know, it's, my God, when was the last time you had to take a driving test regarding pedestrians and people on bikes? For me, for 20 years.
Because the sales of bikes, it says, has gone up exponentially due to rising costs of commuting.
And I believe that, and that's fine. If you want to ride your bike, go ahead. If some people have to ride their bike to work or whatever, that's fine. But be aware of your surroundings and don't be riding your bike right on the white line. So I'm afraid to pass you because I don't want to bump you off your bike with my mirror. And do not be wearing headphones so you cannot hear me coming behind you.
Yeah.
Okay, all I'm saying is I want to see a bicycle dude with, like, tassels and 8-hanger handlebars wearing his leathers riding to work. That would be a sight.
Oh, my God.
All I can think of is, you know, God help the little guy on his bike when he looks in his little mirror and sees a great big blue Mustang and Krista Hagen out of it screaming a lot of expletives. I feel sorry for that guy.
And we're back to the F-bomb.
No!
You said you could go the whole week, and you didn't. You lied.
It's been a week since last Tuesday.
We need to add some spice sometimes.
Okay, one more thing on this. Some of these people obviously did not get the memo that you're not supposed to ride your bike on the wrong side of the road, because when I'm coming down a hill in almost dark outside, I don't want to see your bright light shining towards me coming right at me. No, you're supposed to be going the other way with me so I can pass you, not thinking I'm going to hit you square coming down this hill. It bothers me. If you're going to ride your bike, know what to do and know where to ride. Okay, I think I'm done now.
I think it's good. I think you're right. It's a good conversation piece, and maybe people will think twice, especially if they're on the road and see a blue Mustang behind them.
On the other hand, I do want to mention I am not against all bikers. Definitely watch out for them because you're going to go to jail if you hit them. And motorcycles, they're a totally different story. I don't want people to get me wrong and think I hate everybody on a bike. No, I love bikes. They're great. But like I said, just pay attention and do what you're supposed to do. And motorcycles are different because you follow the same rules that I follow in my car. So definitely watch out for motorcycles. They don't have as much protection as you do in your car. Don't drive like an idiot.
There you go. Good PSA there, Taylor.
I try.
This has been another successful therapy session here on Heels on Wheels.
Hey, you know, this all started because I almost hit a guy on a bike the other day. So he was wearing headphones and going the wrong direction.
And spandex?
Well,
right. I think like 3 tickets right there. Yeah, especially if he was not in the right body type for the spandex. That should be definitely a lawbreaker right there.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I think we are about out of time for this roundtable, and thanks for being my therapist this week, you guys. All right. That is a wrap for this week's edition of the Heels on Wheels radio program. We'll be back next week with even more amazing guests. Our guests this week have been super late model racer Molly Helmuth and founder of Slip Angle Racing, Lisa Pineda. Find out more about KDP and Beauty's Got Muscle by visiting www.beautysgotmuscle.com or on Facebook. For more tailgating recipes, like Chef Sizzle and Scotty's Facebook page, facebook.com/tailgategrillin with Sizzle and Scotty. Our shows are now posted on YouTube, so make sure you look those up, Heels on Wheels, PMN, and listen to all of the shows from this year. Our hosts have been Krista Elise, Diana Clausen, and myself, Taylor Hyatt. Thanks to our production engineer and programming consultant, Bob Steele. Thanks for listening. Now let's go racing.
Heels on Wheels is a copyrighted production of www.performancemotorsportsnetwork.com. a member of the Scorpion Radio Group, Incorporated, and may not be rebroadcast, replicated, or saved in any media without the explicit written permission of PMN. Check out our Facebook page, Heels on Wheels Radio Show, or our section on the PMN website. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of the management and ownership of either PMN or Scorpion Radio Group Incorporated. Be listening next week as the fastest women on the planet rev it up and talk racing.
Baby, when you take the